Another weekend, another Saturday of a double-header racing here on mainland of South Africa. We're racing at the Western Cape, and of course, our primary concern is the inside track of turffontein, as the authorities, and that is the racetrack staff, prepare this track proper for the future season, which promises many moments of thrills. Right, let's get straight down to it. We've got a bipod starting in race 2, unlike last week and the week before. We have a 9-race program on the inside track of turffontein, and we head straight to Darryl. In one breath, I'm actually saying congratulations and good morning. Once again, your followers are smiling this morning.
Let's hope the ball can keep rolling. Thank you very much. Opening leg of the bipod. Now, I did my bipod before the comments came through. These comments are with courtesy from Mark de Kock. He's sponsored by Betway, and it's on their Betway blog. Both are two very well-bred fillies, both capable and very nice. Now, of the two, Greenhouse has got more speed, but the other one, Wearing of the Green, is a stronger finisher. He doesn't want to separate the two of them, but both will be competitive. Now, our pit numbers, what did I go for here?
2, 4, and 8.
2, 4, and 8 in the bipods. Poplar Park, fair enough debut, was towards the back end of the field, stayed on. A lot of scope for improvement, a little bit wary about that form line. 8 runners, 7 of them unplaced in the next start, but a lot of scope for improvement. And then I put Surefire in, and now she's been moderate to date. She's one of the more experienced fillies. She's got a neat draw, and they're trying her with blinkers for the first time. I'm hoping she pings the gates, and if she's got, if she relaxes with those blinkers towards the front end of the pace of the race, she could stay on. Yeah, safe for me, hopefully, to get through the opening leg of the bipod, numbers 2, 4, and 8.
All right, let's have a look at the total outlay of that bipod. It is one of those, if you can add, I'm sure I'm not stepping on Mr. Marie's toes, it would not be the worst thing you could do. It's a cheap outlay of 54 Rand. 2, 4, and 8, that is the Irish bed Wearing of the Green, the 4, Sunfire rather, and the 8, Poplar Park. Race 3 is quite significant in the fact that it's, of course, at the start of the popular bet. The place accumulator, that is race 3, off at 13.15, a Betway, a maiden plate over the 1,200 meters. But there are 3 horses that are outstanding in their breeding. We start off with the one Sutherland from the Informer Stu Pettigrew stable. This is a half-brother to Thunderstruck, no less. And then you've got number 6, Inspector James, well documented. Half a sibling to a runner making its return to the tracks, and that is Barbaresco. And then I see the 7 Sea Wolf is a full brother to a certain Venici, who was a very progressive, a 2-year-old, won at the Alan Robertson. And a third behind that particular horse on that occasion, Venici, was a Triple Tiara winner. That is a War of Athena. But the guys don't want to know that. They want to know which one will be in the box in the first 3.
Yeah, it looks like with Calvin taking the ride on Antonio Gaudi, maybe the Tony Peter runner Sea Wolf will be in need of this. I'm not too sure what to make of that. Cracking race this. I like the look of it. Sutherland, last time out, returning from a 6-month layoff, moved up dangerously. Confederate one from there.
Yeah.
His penultimate start behind Turconnell, he actually moved up a little bit too well, gained through the 600. I like his chances. I think he'll be right there. Tiger Storm improved last time out as a gelding. You know, himself and Johnny Appleseed pulled well clear of the balance of the field. I think 7 odd lengths back to the 3rd place runner. More importantly, he jumped better this time round. Whereas in his first 2 starts, he came out slowly. I like his chances. And then the other one is obviously Inspector James. I mean, he was heavily supported on debut. He was expected to get it right. Just found 1 too good last time out behind Karate Kid. 3rd in that race was Bust Up in Hounslow. Hasn't quite franked the form, but he's been stepped up to 1,200 for the first time. Let's see how it goes. I'm happy enough to treble up. If I am asked to nail my colours to the mast, I'll be going 1, 3, 6 in that order.
136, as is depicted on that first line of that place accumulator slide. 216 Rand, and just a reminder of the off time, 13 of 15. That's the PA underway on the inside track of turffontein Saturday. All right, we continue with our preview to Saturday racing. Of course, this is a Friday recording of a Saturday racing, a busy weekend ahead of us. And we're looking at race 4. This is a Betway maiden plate for 3-year-olds. And they're going over the 1,800 meters. And that is significant because there's a debutant who goes over the 1,800 meters at the first time at the races. Yes, we saw a couple of Sundays back. Peter Muscat, rather, saddle a sibling, a full sibling, and that is Bella's Pablo, ridden to victory by Mr. Gavin Arena. Overdue victory and a one accordingly. Now, this is Musical Angel from the stable of Robin Clausen and will be partnered by Diego de Gabea on that debut over the 1,800 meters. Right, so from a pick six point of view, you don't have to particularly concentrate on that, and I'm sure Mr. Marie has found ways for that to be accommodated in his selection for leg one.
There is a comment in the front of the computer form from Robin, will need the run. Now let's touch on Mark de Cox, inmate of Jaham. Probably needs to be gelded as he can get a bit naughty, but he is improving and will like the extra. I'd include him.
Okay.
It looks like a two-cornered contest.
Okay, that is 1 and 5, I take it.
Yeah, but you can, if you go on a line of form through High Q and the Cane Train, you'll actually work out that Roman's Revenge has got Jaham stone cold. So on paper, I really think Roman's Revenge is the right horse. You know, in his last start, we had Tony being interviewed on Track Talk, and he said this horse has improved a lot. He's finally figured him out. I think they've got to the bottom of him. And last time out, he looked all over a winner. He just got collared very late. In his penultimate start behind Orange County, we saw High Q win from there. And he was in need of that start. So I think if all goes well, we also saw Skittle Skies win from there. If all goes well, he should win and win this quite convincingly. Jaham, you know, he's lightly raced. He's trying the extra. He's probably the exact proposition over here. 1 from 5.
1 from 5, and that is the selection for that pick six. 1 and 5, those should see us through that first leg. And of course, the first time is said to need the run. And then we've got a banker in leg number 2. That will be race 5. The off time to race 4 is at 10 minutes to 2. Okay, so we head on to race number 5, the first leg of the first jackpot. You're watching Weighted to Win for Saturday's race meeting at Turffontein on the inside track, and that will be over 1,500 meters. We're still in maiden company for race number 5, and just having a quick look at what the markets are looking at in race number 5. Well, as far as race number 5 is concerned, the favoritism is with the 2 Towers of Gold, not as short as last time out, is at 12 to 10. 7 Coral Blaze is at 33 to 10. 4 to 1, the 6, and that is Obsidian. And then the one Gamer, who's going to get it right sooner rather than later, that is St. John Gray and Ray Danielson. Gamer is at 9 to 2, the rest are in double digits. Right, race number 5, obviously the outcome to race number 4 for the jackpot players, Mr. Marie, will very much be determined by the performance of Roman's Revenge as to how you go about the first leg of the first jackpot.
Yeah, let's hope he's franked this form by now. That's the Order of Hope form line.
Yes.
In saying that, irrespective of that outcome, I'm going to have a go on Towers of Gold. You know, I was very impressed with his comeback effort in his penultimate start when he was returning from a layoff, and he actually stayed on beautifully on that occasion, getting the better of High Q, who subsequently come out and franked that form. And then last time out, stepped over a bit further, second run after rest. I thought that was a very flat effort on his behalf. So I love the fact that he's having his peak run and he's coming back slightly in trip. I think he'll take all the beating, number 2, Towers of Gold. But surprised to see Coral Blaze, as short as she is in the market. I know Robin Clausen has done extremely well with horses in training, joining her yard, but I'm not really a fan of her form lines. She does get her sex allowance. Let's see how she goes. But okay, then we have to touch on Gamer. I mean, the stable is flying, but on a line through High Q, Towers of Gold has got him stone cold. So I make the danger number 6. What's it? Obsidian.
Obsidian.
I went back and listened to the Track Talk interview done by Jan Janse from that debut efforts. He said he's a very smart horse, but he's looking for further. Then I had a look at his debut efforts. Now, it wasn't a bad effort whatsoever. I mean, it was against winners, and there's been a few winners from there, Karate Kid and Moonlight Trader. But from what I saw, he was so green. He could be a much better sort in time to come, of that there is no doubt. But I think him returning from a layoff, greenness on his side, going around the bend for the first time out, taking on the favourite who's got so much in his favour. I'm all in the camp of number 2, Towers of Gold. Respect for Obsidian, so 2 from 6.
Right, 2 from 6. That would be the way of Mr. Marie, but he's gone very, very much affirmatively with a 2 as a banker in a jackpot 1, and that is an off time of 14.25. Well, lots of soccer action to be delved into and, of course, indulged in as far as having a little bit of a flutter. Soccer is very popular, and, of course, given the sort of racing we have at turffontein in particular, you can take that all to come soccer into your racing bets, and that is on the very versatile and very informative platform called Betway. And, of course, I've got that blog that you heard Mr. Marie quote earlier on. Right, let's get to race number 6, and this is an interesting race, and this is where the stuff between Mr. Marie's ears really gets tested, and he really does. He's always up to the challenge. Race number 6, Here Kwame Boki and So Seductive renew rivalries. So Seductive, surprised. I think even the trainer himself, I think inwardly he was surprised at that victory. Here Kwame Boki obviously had a lot of weight to give away. And of course, where's the party whom you tipped last time out with a lightweight, but still had to beat a competitive field. Did just that. Blue Horizon hasn't franked the form. And I think that's where I leave it. Vix Princess, well, you tell us more.
I've put in 4 out of the 6 runners in the jackpot. Now, obviously, Hirkomi Boki's got it all to do to reverse the form with So Seductive. She's only a kilo and a half better off. But you know what? She's got a draw on her side this time around. I wouldn't be shocked. You know, that's the race that we split them. We ran second on second breath. That was painful to watch.
Yes.
But you know what? What I do want to say about So Seductive is this filly on occasion doesn't move very well.
Yeah.
And for Johan to back her up 2 weeks later, she must have taken that race very, very well. Wouldn't read too much into the jockey arrangements, because Strike is riding a few for Johan and Mr. Werner's, and he can't get down to 54. So I'm not too sure if this was Simanga's elect. I'd be really keen to get his opinion. Chasing Happiness, I would have thought he would have loved to stick with her. She was never in doubt last time out. She's got exceptional gate speed, and maybe just gets the run of the race behind Hirkomi Boki.
I know Johan thinks a lot of Chasing Happiness.
Yeah, she's a lovely filly. Yeah. I mean, both of these fillies are unbeaten over the course and distance. Chasing Happiness, 2 from 2. But you know what? Vix Princess, last time out, she was expected to win because she was best weighted on that occasion. She was having a second run after a layoff. She's now having a peak run. They're coming back in trip with her. But what's interesting is they're trying a set of blinkers on her for the first time. So I've included her in my play. Yeah, 4 horses to get through. My topic is number 2, Chasing Happiness.
1, 2, 3, 5, is that
correct?
Where's the party you brought today?
Hefty penalty last time out.
All right, there it is, 1, 2, 3, and 5 in the first leg of jackpot 2, and again, not the biggest of outlays, 96 Rand for a full unit, and beyond by 3 o'clock for a very fascinating fillies and mares, 94 over the 1200 meters. Okay, so that is the start of the pick 3 now that we're looking at, and that is race 7 off at 15.35. We drop in handicap to a fillies and mares 80, a field of 8, and of course we have a new inmate in the Dawson stable, Candice Dawson stable. It's Time to the Moon, recently relocated, will race with a full set of alamites. However, the hood is off, that is the compression mask is off. That leaves us with a field of 8, and in the betting you've got the 2 Nettleton, 18 to 10, the 1 Lovegrass is at 15 to 4, 9 to 2, the 3 Golden Aspen. This will be Marco's 40th ride upon the 3 Golden Aspen, and it will be having a 69th outing. Cornet certainly knows how to keep his horses taking over. Now, Nettleton, Last time out, Smanga rode it to a good second behind a Turbo Power and Lovegrass. That is the number one. Whereas that is a second favorite at 15-4. Again, we know that Johan thinks highly of this horse. It's they're both carrying joint weights of 61, but no doubt who the favorite is.
Yes, let's touch on my second pick of year. You can see my perms I only went numbers 2 and 6. Second pick being Mika's Bomb. Now, admittedly, she did disappoint last time out up the Vaal Straight, but she seems to have excuses. Reported coughing. In her penultimate start, that was too far for her, the mile.
Yes.
She moved up to a stage and then just flattened out.
Yes.
Prior to that, very consistent. She has won on the inside track before. She won her second career victory. Muzi from a one draw. I think everything is in her favor this time around, and she's been refitted with blinkers.
Yeah, I was looking at two most promising runs in recent times with the blinkers on both
Yeah,
times.
so she should get the run of the race. But I do prefer Nettleton. Interesting, last time out in the Track Talk interviews, Jan made it very clear that he prefers Nettleton over the original favorite Faustinova. I watched that replay. You know, she actually pinged the gates. She did have the opportunity to go forward, but Samanga just took a seat and Trent pushed through on his inside on Turbo Power. Now, Turbo Power's saddle slipped in his next start, so you can't read too much into that form not being franked. But in that race, it was obviously against the boys in open company. It was a cracking effort because she was exposed on the outside and going through the 400, she moved up as if she was going to win. She picked up £3 for that run, but I think she's in cracking form currently and is the filly to beat over here, or the mare. So I'm going 2 from 6. I'm actually not looking past the two of them. I'm fairly convinced we're going to fill the exacta positions.
2 and 6, that is the box exacta there from, in fact, a straight line exacta, I would take it, from Mr. Marie for race number 7 and also make up the first leg of the last pick 3. That's off at 15:35. Well, no doubt one of the star attractions on Saturday's card comes about in a race number 8. Lots to be expected. We've already mentioned the name because the half sibling is hoping to get out of the maidens at the third time of asking. That is Inspector James. And now we're talking about the one Barbaresco, 4-year-old son of Give Me the Green Light. I think you could say that the one horse Barbaresco had a very good campaign in the KZN feature season. Not too badly done in didn't do too badly in the Daily News. And then in the July itself, whilst it says 8th, 3.5 lengths behind, and then for the last big one, and that was on Gold Cup Day, finished 8th, again just 5.60 lengths behind Dave the King. I think as an older horse we should expect more, and we should really look forward to exciting times for the connections.
Very exciting times. What I do want to say to the connections, if you're going to back your horse, don't be taking doubles into him. His current price of 7 to 10, wow. Whew. I mean, I know you open the book and you say, firstly, he's slung in at the weights, right? He's absolutely slung in. Second best was actually Guy Gibson. Now, you can see my perms. I put 3 runners in all my perms, numbers 1, 4, and 8. And I actually like the look of Guy Gibson over here. But I didn't have time to change them, so I just left them. I left him in. But now, Barbaresco, right? He's a net 117. He's 10 pounds or 5 kgs best in over here. Second best in his circumvit. Now let's touch on Barbaresco. Now, firstly, is he gonna achieve a 120 returning from a rest over a distance short of his best? Remember, he earned his rating over 10 furlongs or 2,000 meters in that rarely run daily news race. So he's got 61 to shoulder. He's nowhere near his best. Listen, his class can pull him through, but he's nowhere near his best and readied up for this progress plate. He's got bigger fish to fry. Here he is giving a filly as much as, 9.5 kilograms. A very, very decent filly in Sukhumvit. 9.5 kilograms is a lot of weight. The one's priced up at 7 to 10. The other one's priced up at 4 to 1. I recommend a win bet on Sukhumvit at 4 to 1. I know she comes with her issues, but she's a daughter of Silvana. We haven't seen the best of her yet. She tends to over race. She's coming back to a mile. There is some pace in the race. You've got the likes of Copper Mist, Quartermain,
Mastership also likes to be
Mastership.
up there with the pace. Yeah.
Yeah. Now she's going to push forward. Whether she goes to the front or not, she's going to be up handy on the pace. Barbaresco, first things first, they have to get him to settle because he tends to overdo it at times. And he's going to have to give her weight and start. I'm suggesting a 4-1 win bet on Sukhumvit. In my mind, no doubt she's the value in the race. 1-8 to fight it out.
Yeah, Sukhumvit, highly regarded by Alec from day one. I actually asked him as the horses were going down to the start. This was the first time on debut behind Beating Wings. And he says this horse can run. And I think, as you say, we're going to see the best of Sukhumvit. That is at the win bet at around a 5-1, 4-1, 5-1. You can't get hurt. That is courtesy of Mr. Marie. Field of 8 carded for that last of the afternoon. A Betway merit rated 74 handicap. It's over the 1600 meters, of course, is the last meeting before we get into Heritage Day, which will be a race meeting at the Vaal on a Tuesday. So please note it is racing coming through from the Vaal on the 24th of September. Now, this race 9, that's the 8 runners carded, and looking at the betting for that 9th and final. Very, very competitive, and you've got Confederate, who's coming through, post-maiden, and that is at 18-10. Gavin Arena retains the ride for the Fabian Abeb stable. 3-1 is a 4 Shinto Shrine. Number 5, Golden Pavilion, must be said, disappointed slightly last time out, is at 5-1. 7s and a better bar those quoted runners. And of course, we've got our old friend, but I don't think is given too much of a look in this afternoon, Whispers of War, to strike a blow. There was an improved run behind Apache Sun last time.
Yeah, we liked his chances last time.
That's why I say at least at this time.
Just got touched off for third, eh? How stiff.
So
anyway.
Now he's been thrown onto the scrap heap, has he?
I like the look of this race. Well,
yeah.
There's some very nice sorts in here, namely number 2, Confederate. Listen, done absolutely nothing wrong to date in his 2 starts. Now, in his last start, I thought when he jumped, I said he's in trouble. He's over racing on the stand side, turffontein stand side mile, over racing, and he still managed to kick away from the field. Praying by now that form lines have been franked with towers of gold, but we do know that High Q's won from there. A lot of scope to go on with it. Diwali Rocket, very nice horse. I mean, Manu and Lorenzo have made it clear that they rate the son of Ideal World from day one. They tried him twice with blinkers, took the blinkers off last time out, quickened on by beautifully. I think with the pace in the race, Obia Striker is just going to give him a chance. Whether you get there in time on the inside track remains to be seen, but I think he's one to follow. Shinto Shrine, also lovely 3-year-old in the making. What's interesting over here is they're trying him with blinkers for the first time. Last time out, he ran second behind Deception Past.
Can I just say, if maybe you can correct, because you've watched the reruns, I actually thought Shinto Shrine really sort of got going late, although it doesn't really show in the form.
He did. He was staying on best towards the end, and he just got the better of run for cover, came out and franked that form. But with the blinkers, I'm a little bit hesitant because if he does come out slow and with the blinkers, I'm not too sure if he's going to be settled behind runners. Let's hope he pings the gates this time. He's a very nice horse. And then Golden Pavilion, yes, quick to say disappointed last time out, but there were only 5 other horses in that race, or 6, and he was 3 wide throughout. Things really went horribly wrong for him in running. So I think these 4 will fight it out. I don't know what to make of it, Cecil. I don't know. Maybe Striker swoops late.
All right, but it is a 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for you, the selections, and that would be in a box to exact. Always they're lovely bets to be involved in, and if you get the right placings, it is a very profitable bet indeed. That is turffontein Racing. That exact bet comes about in race 9 at 16:45.